The Indigenous ceremonial change process has 4 phases that are a sequencing of how to come to group consensus for designing the co-creative solutions. And I include a 5th phase because it is the practical application. That means what is it that we can do that's practical and realistic in our personal life, in our professional life. And in this definition here of what is the practical application, we can talk about beliefs, we can talk about theory, we can talk about philosophy, and we can talk. And when our talk is not leading us to any decision making for what we can do and how to go about making decisions that are constructive and life affirming, that are beneficial to the collective using our collective conscience, then I'm going to describe what I call the planetary cosmic reverent revolution. And my Antioch University portfolio that was required for graduation is called, quote, the title is Living the Loving Way, a Reverent Revolution. And the key concept here in terms of practical application is I'm talking about the fact that we still are perpetuating the resources going from the bottom to the top. The resources are going from the poor to the rich, that the poor are paying the burden of taxation, and the rich at the top are and corporations are not paying their share according to their income. And that's the unequal distribution of wealth. And it is criminal. I think it's using the criminal mind for thinking for what it's not for, is how to take advantage and how to fraud people into for grandiose living. We call poverty, we call it tian, and tian is our word for poverty, but it also means spiritual impoverishment. So a person could live in opulence, and because they live in opulence, they're spiritually impoverished because they are people who create material poverty and create homelessness and poverty and the artificial situations, conditions of homelessness and incarceration, which is the new slavery for people of color. So the reframe that I'm speaking of, calling planetary cosmic reverent revolution, reframe is the intervention point where the resources are not going from the bottom to the top. They're not going from the poor to the rich. In the win-win, we all win with our genius gifts for our basic survival and our collective survival. Win-win, constructive, and life-affirming decisions for those outcomes and benefits are in the natural order. Laws that govern us equally go clockwise from elder to youth. Remember, from the east, that's youth, to the south is, the east is child, and then the south is youth, and then to the west is the adult and parent, and the north is grandparent, that is the elder. So from elder and grandparent clockwise to the incoming child, That is the cosmic, planetary, reverent revolution. The resource go from the elder to the youth, the incoming generation, and making decisions for the next 7 generation. So that's every generation making decisions for the next 7 generations that are win-win, constructive, and life affirming. And so this is a reframe of the word revolution, because we think of revolution as violence in terms of the people on the bottom overthrowing the people on the top. And they call it a coup, and it requires replacing the elite people at the top through violence. So I'm reframing the word revolution in terms of reverent, that there is no violence and suffering, there is no overthrowing anybody, there's no win-lose, and nobody wins destructive and death-producing decisions with those outcomes and those consequences. There is only the benefit of every generation, which is a reverent revolution, where the resources go then from the elder to the next generation of youth. So that's restoring our resources to the next generation of youth. That is the core concept of all of my work, my lifetime work, is to teach and to educate this Indigenous ceremonial change process about how to make decisions that are inclusive to everyone and benefit everyone, because we have passed the point of existential and apocalyptic fear for our survival. And we must give hope and the legacy of life and restore our resources to the next generation of youth and the planetary cosmic reverent revolution.